Also, why do we only ever hear about the male loneliness epidemic? Like, I really feel like if you were on the internet, you would think that the only loneliness epidemic was a male loneliness epidemic that was going on. But, like, no, like, the girlies are also having, like, issues when it comes to, like, the friendship department. That is very much something that's going on, okay? And I keep looking at all these videos, and I'm realizing, oh, it's because of the fact that, like, women are generally better at, like, community building and showing up for each other, and, like, women are made to be more social and, like, punished if they're not, like, good social beings more. So I feel like we generally have, like, less friendship problems than men, and men, like, rely on the labor of women in order to, like, have friends. Like, that whole idea of, like, husbands don't have friends, they just have their wives' husbands, their wives' friends' husbands as friends. Anyway, I hope you followed along. Anyway, like, men don't really, like, they're not made to be social the way that women are made to be social, but I still don't feel like that, like, negates the fact that, like, women also struggle with friendships. But I think then, like, there is no social infrastructure, there is no, like, conversation had about that, there is no way to, like, try and remedy that, like, specifically for women, because it's just this idea of, like, oh no, like, but, like, women are so social, like, everybody likes women, like, women are the ones that they throw the dinner parties, and everybody wants to be friends with women. Like, that doesn't make sense. I know so many women across the age spectrum, like women my age who are like or in undergrad, or like even women in their late 20s, who are all like really suffering in the friendship department. And I feel like we act like that's not something that's happening, and it's just making the problem worse.
You know, men are not going to continue. I think men are getting to a point to where they would rather take a loss, right? I'd rather lose, as you would put it, as you would have it, if you say so. I would rather lose than sit up here and try to convince somebody to like me and they don't even care about me. That's the point that a lot of men are getting to. So you're not going to see me beg. You're not going to see me sit up here and pine and sing a song, Earth Angel, will you be mine? And since I lost my baby, and you're not going to hear me saying that, because there's not really anything out here to beg for. I'm not going to sit up here and convince you to like me, and you don't even like me.
Yeah. I'm working tonight because it's slow, so it's wider than you. I made that. That's why it looks so pretty.
Wow.
That could be like everything.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And,
This is such creepy behavior by that woman. I don't get it, because if you're interested in a man, why don't you just say that out loud? But instead, you film the man while he's working, and he essentially has to be nice to you, and then you ask the internet, get millions of views on this video exposing this man. You ask him who he is, and he ends up answering. His girlfriend also ends up answering. And I just don't get it. Like, if you're interested in someone in that moment, please let them know. Do not take a video of them and post it online. It's just creepy. And I think that it comes from this deranged thought that a lot of women have, that any man would be so happy for her to be interested in him. That is not the case, okay?
Women are doing at home between $150,000 to $250,000 a year in domestic labor.
So you're saying women are doing $150,000 to $200,000 of unpaid labor?
Yes.
Have you thought about the unpaid labor that men do around the house? Construction, landscaping, plumber,
Yes.
electrician, pest control, security guard, IT support, chauffeur, mechanic, babysitter, etc.
That is such a fantastic point. Do you own a firearm?
No.
Would you date a guy who owns a firearm?
Yes.
Okay,
I have
you dated?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's interesting because you're saying, well, for you to have a full-time armed security guard, which is what women have, that's really expensive. Women basically have executive protection for free. That's unpaid labor. In fact, can I ask you a question? Husbands should be willing to protecting you. Take the bullet.
Yeah.
Would you do the reverse for him?
No.
If we're talking about unpaid labor, if I wanted to hire 24/7 security, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
You know, a lot of these modern women really don't understand that men are seeing the same thing over and over again. When I date this woman, it don't really matter if you're black, white, Hispanic. Men are seeing the same thing. And quite frankly, you're seeing it across different continents. You're seeing it in Asia. You're seeing it in Australia. You're seeing it here in the US. Might be seeing it in Canada. You're seeing it in South America. It doesn't really matter. In certain sects and portions of wherever region you're in, there's a certain agenda that is being pushed where these modern women are acting a certain way. Men are seeing that and saying, oh, I know where this is about to go. I'm out.
It's really women out here that's 40 years old, 41 years old, 42 years old, 43 and up. They 43, 40. It's women that's literally 35 and up.
Okay.
Literally out here saying, I'm looking for a man to spoil me. 40-year-old, 36, 38, 39, 40, 45-year-old women saying they looking for a man to spoil them. Baby girl, you are spoiled. You spoiled already. It's young right out here. It's young right out here. You talking about you want a nigga to spoil you. You already went spoil you, baby. If I'm going to spoil you something, I'm going to get some of these young right to spoil you that. You 45 years of spoiling already. What the like, at that age, you need to be looking for a man that you can build with. You need to be finding a man who you respect, who gonna take you serious and respect you and build with. Y'all still looking for princess treatment and y'all 50 years old. Phenomenal.
When women present to me on paper, right, he's everything. He's good looking, he treats me well, comes from a good family, he's kind, he's generous, he has a good job. What the is missing? Pick the guy. You guys are crazy. What do you want? You want him to use you?
Settle.
You want him to treat you like
never been in
There's
a toxic
something about
relationship.
women. You guys want a guy who's kind of got a rough edge to him. You guys want a guy who kind of treats you like a I think there's something there when women can say, on paper, he's everything. Pick the guy then. What is missing? Tell me.
Compatibility.
Compatibility. Imagine if I sat here and said, she's beautiful, she's amazing, she treats me kindly, she's a virgin, whatever, all the things that men care about. She's all the great things, but I just didn't feel the vibe, I didn't feel the vibe. That's never gone through my mind. Trust me, the vibe will be there if everything on paper is there. You want the jerk, you want the bad boy, you want the guy with a bit of edge. That's dysfunction. Just saying.
A lot of these modern women are feeling that men are not really investing. They're not engaged. The experience, the meeting, us being here on the date, it kind of feels flat, right? And while I understand, if you come out there, you should probably try to put your best foot forward, right? But you have to understand, men are reading you. They're watching you. And they're saying, oh, here we go. Like you say something and a man is like, because y'all think y'all are the only ones that do that. And a man is saying, oh, here we go again. He hears a certain thing or he sees a certain thing, sees a look, maybe you're wearing something and you're like, oh, here we go again. It's going to be a long night.
Look, can we stop pretending every man is a narcissist, manipulative, or toxic for just 1 minute? Can we stop pretending? Somewhere along the way, it became popular to talk about all the bad men, the cheaters, the liars, the manipulators, and those men absolutely exist. Don't get me wrong. But so do the men who stay, the men who work overtime so their family can eat, the men who sit in hospital waiting rooms all night, the men who raises children that aren't biologically theirs, the men who keep promises nobody sees, the men who get their hearts broken and still choose to love again. The truth is, bad men does exist. But good men do too. And the problem is, good men rarely make headlines because they're too busy being fathers, being husbands, being protectors, being providers. So if you got a good man in your life, sis, tell him. Because sometimes the men carrying the most weight hear the fewest thank yous.
If I post a picture online, a bikini picture online, there's nothing my husband can do that could compete with that level of accolade.
Attention.
Impossible.
The compliments, the attention, the messaging, the you're so sexy and beautiful, and all these different things from thousands or potentially millions of men
around the world
who have money and all these things.
Yeah, and there's nothing he can do. He can't post online and get the same reaction. And more so, he can't give me the same level of validation. So what's happened is we've created a setup in society that means men have to compete with a level of validation they can't compete with. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I.
I think these modern women really understand that a lot of times a man is watching you. So, you know, you're going to be asking why a man is not wanting to commit, why a man is not wanting to do a lot of things, right? It's because you've decided that you're going to act a certain way. You're going to treat people a certain way. And at that point in time, he's like, why would I be involved in that? So you have to understand, and you have to look at, how do I present myself? A lot of you guys are good, are fantastic at looking great. You know, I got my hair done, my nails done, lashes and all that stuff. But then when you actually get to know somebody, it was kind of like, I don't really want to move forward with this person anymore.
I say something respectfully. I come from a very toxic household too. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I've never sold my body. I did everything I could to get to where I'm at. I'm a licensed therapist now and I content create. Do you know how hard it took me to get to where I'm at? And I've never sold my body. So when you're saying that, it's kind of like of an excuse. I'm not trying to attack you whatsoever because like I said, it's your life, whatever, but you're using the excuse of having a toxic family. I didn't have a mom. I didn't have a lot of things growing up. So you could work at a warehouse. You can do a lot of things. I make 6 figures now because of social media, but I had to get up there. I used to bartend just like her and I didn't want to do that. I used to wash dishes. I used to work in a freaking warehouse loading trailers. You think a girl wants to do that? No. So when you guys are saying this stuff and then talking about God, it makes no sense. If you cared a lot about God, you'd follow the way he wants you to be, not however you think you should be. And like the excuses to me, I'm not trying to be rude, but it just sounds crazy.
Well, you know, like I know it sounds crazy, like I do and I sin, but I still pray to God every day.
So if I steal every single day and tell God, please, thank you, like how does that work? If I go hurting people in this world and then say, oh, God forgives me, you're not learning your lesson. Okay, I say something respectfully.
To all the men in happy marriages and relationships, I know y'all love to see this.
I myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance they will see, there will be an answer.
Now, the big smile that these women have when they see the husband or boyfriend goes to show you that they're happy in their relationship. And I want to tell any man in a relationship right now, if you're with your wife or your girlfriend and she's not smiling like this, especially if she didn't see you in a while, there's signs to show that she is not satisfied and she is not happy. It may have to do something with you or it may have to do something with her, but you have to figure that out. Now, if you have a conversation with her and you figure things out and it's you, then you're gonna have to pack it up.
Dr. Rhea, he said men need to make 6 figures, have a 6-pack, and be 6 feet tall.
For what?
To like get a woman to like date him or like him.
Walk outside.
What?
Walk outside right now. Walk down the block. Walk into the local coffee shop. Just go for a walk and report back.
Like right now?
Yes, now.
Okay, I'm back.
Did you see any couples hand in hand on your walk?
Yes.
How tall was he?
About 5'9".
His build?
Oh, he's like fluffy and round.
Unfortunate in the face and rotund in the waist, exactly.
Oh, and the male barista, he had a wedding band on.
So not 6 figures?
No.
So, in just one walk, you saw short, fat, poor men who were coupled up.
Yeah.
So then what the fuck are we talking about? Even on this here TikTok app that you've prostituted me on, there are men with no arms or legs with girlfriends and wives. I will repeat, they have no limbs. And yet, they have found a way to attract women. Impossible to be 6 feet tall when you don't even have feet or legs. Perhaps, just perhaps, you are insufferable, sadistic, miserable people to be around. And very few women hate themselves that much to subject themselves to such a brutal hell. May I suggest being a better human being that is likable so that women would desire you? If there are broke baristas and limbless men who have figured it out, surely you can too.
Honey, you are freaking deluded.
For so many years, the rhetoric was all these women are going to end up alone. There's never been so many women that are unmarried without children. And I think this takes back the narrative of like, look at these lives that women are building and look how much happier you can be single than with somebody that is dragging you down and draining your resources.
This idea of unmarried, alone, single, childless women, full of their career, being happy. This is the story I always tell about that, 40-year-old woman who lives in a place like New York City and has the really nice apartment and has the really good job. And, everyone, all of these young women look at her and say, oh, she's got it all. She didn't need a man and she didn't need kids. And inside, that woman is rotting.
One of the highest honors that a man can bestow onto a woman is the title of wife. Not every woman wants to be a wife, but they cannot become wives on their own. Somebody needs to ask, right? Now, on the other side of that, one of the highest honors that women can bestow onto men is the title of father. Not every man wants to be a father, but they cannot become fathers on their own. Now that we understand that both of these things are of very high value, ladies, I'm going to need us to raise our standards because I'm seeing a lot of kids and not a lot of engagement announcements. And that is never something I will advocate for, especially when that saga typically ends with you all coming online to complain to us that the father isn't doing enough, when in reality, he probably didn't want to become a father. And we know that he didn't want you to be his wife. So most of us don't want to hear it. Like, I don't. Y'all got to stop just trusting these men at their word that he said he was going to be around. If he really wanted to, he would have asked you to marry him. And we all know that. Apparently, except for you.
In my last video, I talked about how there are only 3 kinds of men: a bad man, a good man who's bad for you, and a good man who's good for you. In this video, I want to talk about how to identify a bad man because it's actually very simple. There are only 3 things that make someone a bad man. The first one is the easiest to identify, and the last one is hardest to fake. So let's get into it. My name is Rachel. I teach women discernment so you can stop dating from hope and start choosing with clarity. The first way to identify a bad man is that he doesn't care about your needs. If he doesn't look for, try to understand, or ask about your needs, or if he invalidates or dismisses your needs, that man is a bad man and you can kindly let him go. A good man's response to your needs will always be, I will if I can. So a man automatically not being able to meet your needs is not a bad man. The second way to identify a bad man, he attacks you when you're happy. If a man ever tries to criticize or squash your joy, that is a bad man. If he wants to be the sole source of your happiness, that is a bad man. If he tries to eliminate activities, passions, or people that make you happy, that is a bad man. Good men want to see you happy and want to see you win. This is really something that is observed over time. It's not really something that you're going to be able to see right away. But this third thing, this one is really hard to fake. The third sign of a bad man is that he enjoys the destruction of innocence. And this is not only indicative of bad men, this is indicative of bad people in general. But if someone takes pleasure in the physical, mental, or emotional destruction of innocence, that is a telltale sign of a bad person. They derive power from breaking down others. And that's because healthy people instinctually protect innocence. I'd love to talk more about this. Put any questions or comments you have below.
So my friend asked me a question. She was like, man, everybody always want to know why I'm single. I get so many likes online and it's like everybody just want to love me because I'm pretty, but nobody ever stays. And I said, friend, you ever saw a car that is for sale and that look amazing? I'm talking about the tires nice, rims popping, interior on point, like everything. But then when you go to crank that mug up, it sounds like somebody clearing their throat. I say, that's what you call a lemon. And with lemons, you either try to fix them, but when you realize you put so much money into it, but nothing ever really changed, you get rid of it. Like, you don't keep it. You either give it to somebody else or you junk that mug. I say, I think that's why you single, friend. You might be a lemon. She blocked me.
If you're making $50,000 as a man, you should not date. Agree? Disagree? If so, why?
I mean, everyone deserves companionship, but you have to date a girl in your price range.
What do you mean?
You can't expect to like talk to a girl that's like used to going to like 5-star Michelin star places once a week and go shopping once a week, and all you can provide is Chick-fil-A.
What's your expectation?
My personal expectation?
Yeah.
I don't really like to give away my expectation so men don't replicate it, but I'll just say like being reasonable, like every other week, like a dinner date, frequent vacations, princess treatment.
Princess treatment.
Yeah, I'm not too hard to deal with.
You said that you shouldn't date outside of your
price range.
Did you say what that is to you?
The activities that I like to do probably cost like anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month for a man to upkeep.
So,
what are you hang gliding off
No,
of
like
tower?
the
Like, what are you
activities
doing?
that I do as a person. Yeah.
What is he taking you zip lining in Cairo? What's $10,000 a month?
No, I'm just like activities that I like to do, and then like with my partner. So like I'm saying, like I like to travel a lot.
Oh.
I'd love to go out to eat. Maybe 5 is a bit much. Let's say maybe like 3.
Hold on. You said 5 to 10.
Yeah.
So 5 was on the low end.
Yeah, because like what if we have a birthday or it's like
birthday?
That's why. I mean, that's at least $6,000, right?
How many bodies is too many for a female for you? I'm selfish. You feel me? I'm selfish, baby. I ain't gonna lie, like I be hurt, bro. I say 1, bro, cause I be hurt, you 23. What you mean 1? I be hurt, bro, cause I got to imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody else doing that to you, I be hurt, bro. Even though it happened 20 years ago, it don't matter. Why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like you could have waited on me. You know. You could have waited on me. You could have waited on me. But she didn't know you was coming. She should have known. They always expect us to know, like we superheroes. So she should have known I was coming. I had my cape on. I was ready. So she got 1. It's like that shit. All right, realistically, I'm gonna say 3. 3. After 3, come on now. Maybe 4. Maybe 5. I don't know.
Whenever I talk to people who are in a new relationship and they're like, you know, honeymoon period, really falling for the person, I always tell them, I'm like, that all sounds great. But let me know when you've had your first fight. Like, you really don't know what it's made of until you've had your first real fight about something. Because all the good stuff, I don't want to say it's easy to find, but it is relatively, it's not scarce. Like, you can find somebody who you have a lot of fun with.
You enjoy being happy? Hey, me too.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you like the thing? I like the thing too. Let's do the thing together. Like, that's not that complicated. What's complicated is when all of her childhood issues come up and get triggered because of the thing that you said, because you've got this blind spot in your life that you haven't dealt with, and then you start really going at it. And it's really the quality, like you said, the rupture and repair, the quality of the fighting, like how communication always breaks down to a certain extent during fights, but it's like, how deeply does it break down? Does it get nasty? Does it get personal? And then similarly, how quickly do you recover from it? And do you recover from it? Or do you hold it against each other? Do you start the scoreboard? You know, it's like, okay, it's 1-0, right? If the scoreboard's there, it's over. It's just a matter of time.
What's your body count?
I think in today's era, women promiscuity is looked down upon, and it can have real world consequences. So I will not be answering that.
All right. What's your body count?
I'm gonna be honest, from like 18 to like 22, I don't know. I hook up with friends a lot, but since 2021, it's been like 7.
What do you think it was before 2021 though?
30.
Okay.
I lost count too, but I would say in the ballpark of 30.
Probably like 13-ish.
13-ish, okay.
4.
17 to 19.
All right, what about you?
1. We got married very early.
1, okay. Felicity, what about you?
2.
Does it bother you that your husband
is a player?
He's a little ladies'
No,
man.
I kind of find it
Ladies'
flattering
man.
that he settled down for me.
He said, okay, there you go. Shona?
0.
All right.
Hitting the wall was a very real thing. I never argued with Kevin Samuels about that. Because the reality is the older you get, the worse your options get. So by the time you get to said age and you look around and you realize what you're left with to choose from, and you realize it is either going to be you dealing with somebody who you don't find to be attractive, somebody who come with a bunch of baggage, who got a bunch of problems, divorcees, bunch of kids. You realize you're dealing with somebody who they never got it together throughout their life, so they still don't have nowhere to stay. They still not financially stable, still jumping from job to job if they even got a job. You just realize you really don't have no options, right? And so now you're met with the wall. And either you get to choose at that wall if you're going to settle or you're going to just go ahead and hit it. I'm going to go ahead and hit it. I'm going to hit the wall.
When he stopped texting first, I thought he was playing games. When he stopped initiating, I thought he was losing interest. But looking back, I was the one who taught him to stop. Every time he reached out and I responded late, every time he made plans, and I canceled every time he gave effort, and I took it for granted, I was teaching him that his energy was not valued here. A man does not stop chasing because he stopped caring. He stops chasing because he finally decided his effort deserved somewhere better to land.
I got a post there that says, nobody gets cheated on more than that man who does everything in his power to make his woman happy. This is the part I'll never understand. Yeah, a lot of men can't wrap their head around why most women, when you treat them with the utmost respect and you do the most to make them happy, it goes unappreciated. The saying goes, nice guys finish last. It's sad that when a man is trying to be nice and respectful to a woman, she doesn't care about all of that. The main thing I have to tell men is, when she likes you for who you are in the beginning, never change. Remember, men, women are only loyal to their emotions. No matter what you do and how you do it, they don't care if you did it a month ago. They only care what you're doing right now. This is the reason why a lot of women have a problem staying in relationships when their guy's being too nice. They don't like it. You gotta give them some emotional turmoil sometimes. To sum it all up, most women on earth are ungrateful and they're never satisfied. And now I hope you guys understand why I say this. And you want to get married, pack it up.
Men who are struggling will often take that pain and that hurt, and 99% of the time they're going to turn that inwards. And it can come in various forms of whether that means they're working out too much, drinking too much, working too much, and then they'll find themselves self-isolating because this is what they would rather destroy themselves than be a burden on someone else or to hurt someone else. Believe me when I tell you that none of these men want to keep these behaviors, but because they may not have the resources or most likely the necessary skill set at that time, or they just haven't, as men, we just haven't figured how to step out of it yet. You guys, we just feel stuck. And because we feel stuck, then we feel ashamed. Because as men, we feel like as a man, we're supposed to have all of the answers. Or ultimately, as guys, we look at ourselves like we're a failure. So if you're a brother like this who is struggling and you can relate to this, make sure that you are creating a space that says it is okay for you to not have all the answers. And once you can embrace that it's okay, watch how your life is going to change when you stop caring about that.
Fellas, when you're on grind mode, it's just best you stay single. Or if you want to be in a relationship, make sure you choose a woman that understands, not right now. You have to be with a woman that understands that you're on grind mode. You're not trying to spend no money. You're trying to prioritize. That's the type of woman that you need in your corner. Not the woman that wants you to get her hair done, her nails done every week. When Christmas time comes or her birthday comes, whatever, she's going to be a brat. She's going to complain because you can't get her 10 Chanel bags or whatever the case may be. Be with a woman that understands not right now. And that's the woman, when it's your time, that's the woman you have by your side. And then you finally splurge on her. You finally spoil her because she understood the assignment. It makes no sense. I really do feel people that are on grind mode do not need to be in relationships. It gets real complicated when you're focused and you can't give your all in the relationship because the other person don't understand. Y'all not on one accord. Get you a, not right now.
When I was in college, I dated a very traditional Christian man who asked me at one point, how do you feel about after you graduated, we just immediately got married and you were a stay-at-home wife and you didn't have to work? I was honestly offended by that question because I was so passionate about this thing that I was getting a degree in that I was just so eager to enter the workforce and do this thing that I loved and get money for it. Fast forward to today, I've graduated, we broke up, I'm now working in the profession of the thing that I got a degree in, and I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done.
I had a chat with a friend of mine last night who was complaining about how women don't want to be housewives anymore and they just want to have a career and they want to work and they want to hustle. And it was just insane because I looked at him and I was like, who on earth wants to work? And he was like, every woman, they want to work. They don't want to be at home. Like, they don't want to be taking care of the kids and whatever. And I was like, name me one woman that wants to work right now. Like, there's no woman on earth that just wants to work and hustle and whatever. Like, it doesn't.
The girlies are quitting their jobs. McKinsey just released their Women at Work Report 2024 edition. And what they found is that about a third of women are planning to leave their jobs.
Pretty much every video I post about careers, I get a ton of comments from people saying, I just don't want to work. Like, I wish, I don't know, no job sounds appealing to me because I just don't want to work. My own story of the path I was on in my 20s, I did quit my job at 31 as a marketing director.
I took a few days to kind of chill out, cry all my tears, get all the anger out before I made this post. After 17 years of teaching, I resigned from my teaching position.
And, you can sit up here and say, oh, is there a man that's willing to help? Is there a man that's willing to, kind of show that chivalry and stuff like that? But I think a bigger question you should probably be asking, and maybe it's probably a bigger problem, is, am I willing to give back? Am I willing to be feminine? Am I willing to nurture? Am I willing to put in effort? Right? Am I willing to say, okay, I appreciate what you're doing? A lot of women think that chivalry is only one-sided. And, a man is only supposed to do certain things, right? But let's look at your version of chivalry. What is it that you do? And then when we start asking those questions, we come right back on to the question that men be asking women, modern women, and they get upset. What do you bring to the table? What is it that you can do? How is it when I'm supporting you? How is it that you can support me? How can you support a family? Do you want to support a family? What type of person are you? And that's usually when modern women crash out and they don't want to answer those type of questions.